like that whole premise and the whole investigation. You're investigating murders, and people get like their head chopped off. It doesn't show any of this stuff, but just the whole premise of it is just very dark. You know, you're not dealing with like lighthearted people. These are people like are just like stabbing people, like hanging them from a water tower. Even though you're in high school, you're building.
So you're saying he was decapitated? It's like, yes, it was quite gruesome.
Like, yeah, and then you would get something from like Chie, like, how he must have really lost his head. Not really that bad, but yeah, she's like very ditzy.
Yeah,
and then you have like Yukiko, the Japanese girl, who's very quiet, but comes from like a rich background. And Kanji, the gay dude, is my favorite. And then like your best friend Yasuke, a redheaded dude with the headphones.
Oh, okay.
And so Kanji's the dude with like the freaking the foldable chair.
Yeah,
with the foldable chair. So there's a cocky moment when you go to the beach and this everybody's in like their swimming trunks and bathing suits. Like, oh, the girls look really good. Which one are you gonna ask out or whatever like that? And then you make whatever your girlfriend throughout the whole game. And then Kanji comes in with a fucking Speedo, just like all like barely like literally the graphics are just like black.
Yeah.
It's right over here. It's like, oh, Kanji, what are you wearing? He's like, what are you talking about? It's your basic black. He's like, it's your basic, like, what do you wear? He's like, your basic black Speedo. Like, nothing was wrong. He's got like junk hanging out. And he comes off, he loses his Speedo, he comes out naked and shit. So it's very lighthearted in that sense, kind of like that.
Yeah.
But, it's the same thing. You go into fights, you have your party of 4, and it's good to hear from that you can sub somebody in. Because there's so many times where I'm like, looking at Chie, is like, so I made you my girlfriend earlier, but I'm not going to take you. Kanji is much better, but since we have a higher relationship, it affects your personas and how much more powerful you are. But Kanji does like 5 times more damage, and then you have to leave somebody behind, right?
Yeah.
So and the only way to go back and get him is if you leave the dungeon and then go back and pick your squad again, and then go manually walk back up to that dungeon, all the way to the floors. Persona's the kind of game where you go through several floors, go to like a mid-boss, and go 2 more floors to get to the main boss.
Gotcha.
And so when you're done with that, if you don't have like a thing to teleport out, you walk all the way back.
Oh, that's
if you lose, you got to go all the way back. It's not very forgiving.
Yeah.
But if you save constantly and do stuff like that, you can always go back and start where you left off. But literally the amount, like the best part of the game is the personas. It's basically like a Pokemon game, kind of like in that respect, where you have like all these. I've never played a Pokemon game, so I don't even know if that was real. But apparently with all the selections, if you have like the whole different types of Pokemon you can do, personas you can create a very, like a vast, you fuse personas. So you can fuse 2 at a time, like fuse one with another one. You can fuse in 3s, so like 3 personas into one, or you can fuse 5 personas into one. Or 4 or 5. And it gets ridiculous, and all the stats that carry over, it's like all these personas get fused. And you go into battle, and in between every move, like in any RPG, it's turn-based. So you have your party, and then like the enemy goes, and then everybody in your party goes. The enemy goes, and everybody in your party goes. So basically, after every move you can switch your persona. So you can it's your move. You can switch your persona to a different one, and then do an attack. So you can have like 10 personas. You can use them for all these different situations, right? Then you also have your squad members who you can either just have on auto control, which to do the best attack in that situation, or you can manually control everybody. So literally, you can like just manually control everybody in your party for everything that they can do. One thing about it is that they can use different personas. They all have their own, like their own individual like persona that they use. But the combinations in that is really cool. The combat's really good. It's like a basic RPG with all the elements and stuff. Like, I had a resistance to fire, right? I had such a high resistance to fire that it actually healed. That fire attacks actually healed me.
Wow.
So basically what I did, I would shoot some guy with a fire attack. He has a fire resistance as well, but his fire resistance deflects fire. So I fire him, he deflects it back to me and heals me. So that was my turn.
Yeah.
He just healed me, so I can imagine him like, what the fuck just happened? So just cool stuff like that. Also, the enemies can like one-shot kill you sometimes, where like you go into the match, they won't be doing anything the whole time. You start getting down to some health, and all of a sudden they'll fucking like panic your whole team, so that everybody's like, oh, I don't know what to do. And they'll just run up to you and like stab you, and then like go there, and then he just fucking eliminates everybody with low health.
Oh my god!
So it's like that, where you get down to a certain point, they can like instant kill you, or you can just take that shit free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as everything else, the voice acting. This is the last thing. Voice acting's okay. Well, the voice acting's actually really good. Only thing I don't like about it is that the main character doesn't have a voice.
Oh, that sucks.
I just don't like that.
Yeah.
I hate it. I know it's your own character and stuff, but like, Just give him a voice.
It just like eliminates any chance of having a personality.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, not everybody can be Link.
Yeah.
And even then, so Link should fucking have a voice by now. He has to have had a voice by the Wii.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Mario had a voice a long time ago as well. Like, he didn't have a voice. Anyways. Voice acting's good. It's just a whole bunch of, like, teenagers, though, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cocky stuff going on. There's a lot of funny shit. It's just, it's in the high school kind of setting. So I can see, the Tales one. Tales of what?
Gilia.
Tales of the Jennifer Lopez movie.
Ah.
I can see how that. I think
Ben Affleck was the bomb.
I've actually seen that game, but that actually sounds really appealing. I guess that would be more for you. Freaking Persona is all about like building relationships.
Oh, okay.
And so like it's not like. I mean, you go to a party. Not even that. Just like certain events, right? So it takes place throughout a whole school year.
Yeah.
It's a real time. You go through every day of that year. So when you get in this day, it's like you got to go to school day, and then you know it takes you to school, and there's like scripted stuff what happens on certain days.
Yeah.
But in the middle, in the middle of the week, you literally wake up and you do what you got to do every day. And you end your day by going back to your room. So literally, you don't really skip anything.
Yeah.
So when it goes on from like July to like next June, you literally play every day of that game. You know what I mean? I mean, they're not long. You can literally like do something. It's like, would you like to spend your evening doing this? Like you go to like somewhere to eat, or like go to like a movie theater. It's like, would you like to spend your evening doing this? Like you say yes, and then after the movie, then you go straight home, and your day's already done. You know, so it's like stuff like that. So you basically just see what you got to do, see what you want to, because that's the only time you get to like level up your shit. You know what I mean? Before a fight. So it's kind of cool how like. You can literally plan your day to level up. Like, okay, Wednesday, I'm going to do, like, the reading skills.
Yeah.
So my knowledge will increase so that I can learn more spells. So it gets, like, all like that.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. You go to the theater to build a relationship with a girl, maybe your girlfriend, and then their actual personas will be stronger and give you buffs.
Nice.
So it's like everything leads to something, which is what I love about Persona. Like, nothing is meaningless. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, everything that you do, no matter how, like, funny, like, oh, you want to go to the beach with your friends? But yeah, actually, it builds to like your courage for going swimming in the sea, like that joke in the guild. Remember that guy? He's like, can I go in the ocean and build muscle by swimming?
What are you doing? It's like I'm swimming in the ocean to build up my muscle mass.
It's kind of like that. Like everything you do, it works towards something. So it's cool in that regards. Nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It sounds really in depth. I mean, it sounds really fun. Like, because I really didn't know anything other than like Persona Arena. So I didn't really realize like how in depth the game is. Yeah. It sounds like a lot of fun. At some point,
it's really in depth. The only thing is that one last thing about it is that with the voice acting, there's they all have their individual voices, right? You get to love them. You get to Chia's voice is it's cool. It fits her personality. It's really annoying sometimes. Yeah. Like, hey guys, I can't even do it. But when there's not voices, there's an assload of cardstock with just like the faces and the subtext. Yeah, and you literally you can find yourself like. It's interesting for a while, like when you're like, because it's all like character development. All the game is character development, so you can find yourself just like mashing X through everything. You're like, come on. It does get pretty heavy on the cardstock when they don't have voices. Yeah, and sometimes you'll go so long without hearing a voice. Like when they say something, you're like, did they just talk? Like, oh no, they just did a sound that they went, for that cardstock.
Oh man,
that's about it though. It's I enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoyed it because there's a lot of content.
Yeah.
One thing I love most about games is story and the amount of content you get for your money. That's what I like. But I think I might try out that Tales of Gigli.
Starring Ben Affleck and
Gilia. There it is.
Nice.
I needed to know how it was spelled.
Well, close enough. All right, we'll move on to another topic.
Yeah, we talked, yeah.
I just wanted to touch on this one. The Naughty Dog co-founder... has said that Nintendo is irrelevant as a hardware manufacturer. So Jason Rubin is best known for being one half of the two-man team that founded the Sony-owned developer Naughty Dog. But today he was making waves by something where he said, blah, blah, blah. Let me get to the main point. When asked, let's see. Okay, when asked who will win the battle between the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, the topic of Nintendo came up. He said Sony and Nintendo will do, for the next few years, extremely well, again, because Nintendo has stumbled. Nintendo is irrelevant as a hardware manufacturer in the console business right now. Let's see. He said he notes that Nintendo's selling more Wiis than Wii U's, but does have to say, again, before the hate mail comes in, I will say to whichever camera is on right now, that worldwide treasure Nintendo is... Oh, okay. I don't know why you said it like that, like Yoda. There is no developer. There is no developer that will ever be Nintendo. Nintendo's visionary Shigeru Miyamoto.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah.
He made Zelda and Metroid and more.
No, never played those games.
Godfather.
It's a crime that we do not play those games on the systems that we have. So, so he wasn't saying it to, like, be a dick.
No.
He was pretty much saying the truth, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just like, yeah, it's like the Wii U, yeah, it's cute and all, but it's not really, like, it's not competitive now already.
When you think about it, Nintendo literally had the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
They had their time.
Mm.
Like, in my perspective. Maybe I'm just, like, young and I don't really care. But I was there still. I had a Sega Saturn. I had a Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, I had a Sega Genesis. And I really feel like Nintendo ruled that whole era. No matter what you had a Sega, you had, a PlayStation, whatever. When PlayStation came later on down the line, Game Gear and shit.
There was no,
and,
such thing as Sega or Nintendo. Like, you had one or the other, and some people had both, but it wasn't like... There was no console war back then. It was
exactly.
Like, Sega? Oh, well, I got 16-bit Super Nintendo. Oh, I got 32-bit Sega system. Like, nobody gave a shit about that. Like, oh, you got Mortal Kombat? Like, yeah. I was like, oh, I got Mortal Kombat too.
Yeah.
But on the
Sega was
Nintendo.
Sega definitely was the big runner-up with the whole Sega does with Nintendo. That whole campaign. I only learned that because of the Angry Video Game Nerd. We had the whole history of the stuff.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But like you have the Sega stuff, you have like your games and shit. But like you always like. You went back to Nintendo for, like, the big hits. Like the classics. You got the Zeldas, the Metroids, the fucking... Whatever else you got, I feel like Nintendo would still... even though, like, how prominent Sega was, Nintendo had that whole generation.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo had it by far. Then the 64 just cemented them even more into that. It was just so good. 64 was just an awesome system. It was a new generation. It was fucking 3D shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I feel like, to put in the plainest sense, I feel like they had their time. Nintendo has their name. They have their reputation. They have it all. They're all golden, Do whatever they're doing right now, but I don't think they're going to be competing with, as far as in the console market.
Yeah.
I think in handhelds, they still got it.
Oh, yeah.
The Vita's coming up strong, but...
yeah, the Nintendo's, like, never been even, like, challenged, like, in handheld market. Like, they've always had that.
Yeah, they got it.
And, like, a testament to their legacy is just the fact that, like you said, Mario, Zelda, Metroid, those are all still very relevant. They're still huge properties. It's like, Sonic, he's around, but no one gives a shit about Sonic.
They keep putting him in, like, Sonic Mario Olympics. It's like, that's what, I don't want to see Sonic in there.
Who cares?
I want to see Sonic in... I don't really care about Sonic in the first place, but...
Yeah.
Well, Sonic just kind of like outgrew, or rather the way like games have evolved kind of outgrew Sonic. Because it's like you can't do that really fast-paced running around the loops and the three-dimensional plane. I mean, you can, but it's like it doesn't work in that same way. It doesn't.
It's
work
not as
well.
fun.
Because like I think they made a Sonic 4 and they just went back to like the old school way, and I think that was a lot more well received than some of the 3D games.
Yeah, I guess it's like a Sonic game is being condensed to like downloadable games.
Yeah,
for like $15.99 or something like that.
I think that would be an appropriate market for them.
It would be a really good market. It's like I don't know, like if you're like stop trying to make a full game out of a game that may only work in a 2D environment.
Yeah,
like just make it $15 and make it an awesome side scroller. Like Journey wasn't it like a 2-hour game, 1-hour game.
It's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yeah,
it's like you get like a lot for your money. It's like I think it's like a $20 game or something like that.
Well, I got it for like 10.
Well, like $10 game.
They need to make like a buddy game with Crash Bandicoot and Sonic.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet actually. But yeah, like Journey, it was just like like $10-15 whatever it was. I don't think it was ever like $20, but you pay that money because they had something that they wanted to show to you.
Yeah,
like these indie developers, like this is what we got. We want to show you this. Here it is. It's not a full game. That's why it's fucking $15 or $10. That's what the things should do with like Sonic or similar games.
Yeah.
Not going to work on a different plane. Just do it to the best of your ability. It's probably not going to cost that much for a 2D side scroller, but make it $15 and a whole bunch of people will buy it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's obviously still a market. People still love those games. It's like you don't have to go and charge someone $60.
$60 for a new Sonic. Like no, just make it widely available, and everybody's going to own that game. If you make it like a $10 to $15 like awesome Sonic HD side scrolling game, I guarantee you, like at least like everybody will have that like I have that game downloaded. Yeah, it's pretty small. Make a couple gigs. Got that downloaded. Yeah, I think it would do a lot better in that kind of realm.
Then give Tails its own solo title And Sync, Sega, all together. No, I was kidding. No one wants to be Tails.
Some indie developers probably like one.
Yeah.
Come on, let me do it.
Probably.
Tails game.
I'm positive there's that guy out there.
Mighty Number 9 gets made.
Now Knuckles, on the other hand, that's